South Africa's platinum, gold, coal and manganese may have dodged U.S. tariffs, but the industry's relief is tempered by risk. The U.S. has imposed sweeping 30% tariffs on several imports, yet spared key South African exports like PGM's chrome, coal and gold, minerals that anchor South Africa's position as a global mining leader. But the Minerals Council warns that slowing global growth and falling U.S. vehicle sales could still undermine demand for critical exports. To break this down, we're joined by Hugo Pienaar, Chief Economist at the Minerals Council of South Africa. Hugo, thanks very much indeed for talking to us.
My pleasure.
So while PGMs, gold and manganese are excluded from U.S. tariffs, you still have the tariffs hitting diamonds and iron ore. How significant is that?
So I think in terms of our exports to the US, we don't export much of iron ore. That largely goes to China. But diamonds, we do export quite a bit to the US. So that will be a challenge. But I think for us, the bigger challenge is not so much the exports that go to the US, because in the bigger scheme of things for South Africa, that is not as significant. But what we are very concerned about is the knock-on effects of this global increase in tariffs on some of South Africa's non-US trading partners. So if we think of China in particular, now, South Africa is very dependent on China in terms of our mineral exports, especially on the bulk commodities. So iron ore, manganese, chrome, coal goes to India to a large extent. And some of the other minerals go into Europe. So broadly speaking, if we're saying that this is a global shock, which I certainly think it is, and it's going to dampen global growth in 2025 and perhaps beyond, that suggests that the demand for minerals could actually be softer than what one thought a couple of months ago. And that's bad news for a resource, a big resource producer like South Africa.
Mm-hmm. So one way or the other, there is a domino effect. Okay, let's look at auto manufacturing. I mean, that could still dent South Africa's PGM revenues. And again, it's in that context, isn't it?
100% correct. So, I mean, we've seen a global 25% increase on auto imports into the US. So this is not just on South Africa. My understanding is this is across the board. There may still be some exemptions. This is, of course, a evolving story, but for now, that is where we are. And the impact of that, there's no doubt that vehicle prices will increase in the US. And to the extent that those higher prices dampen the demand for vehicles in the US, that should then have a knock-on effect on the demand for platinum group metals, because bear in mind that these minerals, certainly on palladium and rhodium, their key uses is in autocatalytic converters in the vehicle sector. So lower vehicle demand, especially for traditional petrol and diesel run vehicles, that will have a knock-on effect on the PGM sector.
Hugo, I mean, you just cannot stop this gold price at the moment, right? We just another record high, above $3,300. I'm just wondering, looking at the local currency, the weaker rand, the inflationary pressure, what does that mean in terms of how local producers react to this gold price?
So I think we are fortunate that on the input cost side, that at the same time that the rand has weakened, the oil price has come down a lot. So if one looks at the rand oil price, so you multiply the dollar oil price by the currency, which is of course the important variable for South African producers, that is actually somewhat lower over the past month. So telling us that the decline in the oil price has outweighed the weaker currency. So I think we're okay for now on the input cost side. And of course, the mineral exporters get the benefit from the weaker rand in terms of if they translate their dollar earnings back into into rand. So I don't think the weaker currency for now is a constraint on the mining sector. Of course, in terms of other inputs, machinery and equipment, that will certainly, if the rand remains at these levels, that the cost of those will of course go up.
And then Hugo, I mean, tariffs aside, I'm wondering, how should South Africa's mining sector position itself? You know, again, in this world of geopolitical shocks, you referred to it a little earlier, shifting trade alliances and unpredictable economic tides. What should that shift be?
So I think it's very important to emphasize that South Africa is a reliable supplier of several minerals, including some of the more critical minerals that will be required over time for the green transition. Again, one thinks of things like manganese. One thinks of even the PGMs, if one thinks of the hydrogen in the fuel cell economy. So South Africa is actually well positioned to benefit from the demand for critical minerals over time. But we need to get our domestic business environment more conducive so that we see faster growth and certainly more exploration in the domestic mining sector, so that we create a pipeline of future mining activity to again be able to meet the demand for minerals over time.
Hugo, and then finally, I want to end off just going back to diamonds, for example, and those minerals that are affected by the tariffs. Is it just a wait-and-see approach? What's your stand at the moment?
So I think, unfortunately, on diamonds, that industry is already under pressure, or was already under pressure even before the current developments. And that has to do with lab-grown diamonds. It perhaps still has to do with some of the fallout from the COVID pandemic and the hit to consumer income. So you know, I always say there's not one mining sector in South Africa. It's a very diverse sector, and the underlying trends that drive those subsectors of mining are quite different. And unfortunately, the diamonds certainly are in a tough spot at this stage.
All right, Hugo Pienaar, Chief Economist at the Minerals Council of South Africa. Thanks very much indeed for your time, Hugo.
My pleasure.